Rangers, the transfer window may be shut, but the drama is far from over. Ridvan Yilmaz could still be on the move. Chris Boyd has rivals raging over a deadline day deal, and an £8 million dilemma is looming at Ibrox. Rangers rejected late bids for two key men, but was that the right call? And Zach Lovelace's shock exit has fans wondering, was this a mistake? Stay tuned, you won't want to miss this. Ridvan Yilmaz remains a hot topic as Besiktas refuse to give up on bringing him back to Turkey with the Super League transfer window open until 11th of February. But let's be honest, you can see why Rangers are standing firm. A last-ditch bid of around £3,300,000. That's not exactly an offer to turn heads at Ibrox. The Turkish giants have been circling for weeks, but Yilmaz himself isn't in any rush to leave. And why would he be? Rangers are still fighting on all fronts: Europa League, Scottish Cup, and a league campaign that suddenly looks a whole lot more promising under Philippe Clement. Depth is key, and losing a player like Yilmaz without a replacement would be madness. Yes, Yefti has stepped up since his arrival, but football is unpredictable. Injuries happen, suspensions come into play, and you need every quality option available when silverware is on the line. And let's not forget, this is a player Rangers invested in, a player with talent that could still come good. So why would Ibrox officials even entertain the idea of letting him go for what looks like a cut-price deal? The question is, are Besiktas taking the Rangers board for fools with that lowball offer? Or is there something we're not being told about Yilmaz's long-term future at Ibrox? Rangers have made a major statement of intent with the signing of Lyle Cameron on a pre-contract deal, and it's about time the club started looking after the best young Scottish talents instead of letting them slip away to other leagues. This move signals a shift in recruitment strategy, one that prioritizes homegrown talent and ensures that the core of the team has players who truly understand what it means to play for Rangers. For too long, the club overlooked the domestic market, allowing players like Aaron Hickey, Lewis Ferguson, and Josh Doig to head abroad and prove their worth elsewhere. Even Celtic have managed to snap up Scottish talent like Luke McCowan, while Rangers were slow to act. That can't happen anymore. With Cameron, Rangers are ensuring that one of the country's brightest young midfielders is at Ibrox, not showcasing his talents somewhere else. And let's talk about the player himself. At 22 years old, Cameron has already played over 100 games for Dundee and has been one of their standout performers this season. 8 goals and 7 assists in 30 appearances tell you everything you need to know about his ability to influence games. He can play centrally, deeper in midfield, or even in a more advanced role. His versatility is a huge asset. He's got the technical ability, the energy, and the drive to succeed at a higher level, and now he's got the platform to prove it. Of course, stepping up to Rangers is no small challenge. There's pressure, competition, and expectation every time you pull on that jersey. Cameron will have to fight for his place against players like Nicholas Raskin, Mohamed Diamand, and even Connor Barron, who himself has struggled for minutes recently. But that's what separates good players from great ones, the ability to step up when it matters. If Cameron can hit the ground running, he could become an important part of the squad for years to come. Niels Koppen and Philippe Clement deserve credit for getting this deal done early rather than waiting until the summer when other clubs might have come sniffing around. It's a sign that Rangers are serious about long-term planning and building a squad that can compete at the highest level. The big question now, will Cameron be given a real chance to prove himself at Ibrox, or is he destined to become another young Scottish talent wasted on the bench while foreign signings are prioritized? Rangers find themselves in a familiar situation, falling head over heels for a lone player only to realize they might not be able to keep him. Václav Černý has been nothing short of outstanding in Philippe Clément's attack, lighting up Ibrox with his creativity, goals, and relentless work rate. But with Wolfsburg slapping an £8 million price tag on his head, it's looking increasingly likely that this could be a love story without a happy ending. Chris Boyd is already bracing for disappointment, pointing out that the situation could have been avoided if Rangers had negotiated an option to buy clause in the initial loan deal. And let's be honest, he's got a point. This isn't the first time Rangers have taken a punt on a loanee only to be priced out of a permanent move once the player starts showing their true quality. Now, with Bundesliga clubs and potentially others lurking in the background, there's a real danger of losing a player who fits Clement's system like a glove. There's also the case of Ianis Hagi, who has made a remarkable resurgence since returning from exile. While Černy's future remains uncertain, Boyd reckons Hagi is far more likely to start next season in a Rangers shirt, though even that isn't guaranteed. With his contract running until 2026, Rangers will soon have to decide whether to extend his deal or cash in while they still can. And that brings us to the real issue. Rangers cannot keep letting key players slip through their fingers. If Černý is allowed to leave without a serious attempt to secure him, it will be yet another case of Ibrox missing out on top talent due to financial limitations. Yes, £8 million is a hefty sum, but quality costs money. If Rangers are serious about consistently competing at the highest level, they need to find a way to make deals like this happen. The question is, should Rangers break the bank to sign Černý permanently? Or is it time to accept that financial reality means the club will always struggle to keep hold of top talent? Zach Lovelace's departure from Ibrox is one of those transfers that leaves you wondering what could have been. When he arrived in Scotland back in 2022, there was a real sense that Rangers had pulled off a coup, snapping up one of the most exciting young forwards around. But injuries have been cruel to the lad, and now just as he was starting to get a sniff of first-team football, he's decided to call time on his Rangers career and return to Millwall. It's a move that makes sense from a financial standpoint. Rangers are reportedly securing a 7-figure fee rather than losing him for next to nothing in the summer. And given the rebuild currently underway under Philippe Clement and Niels Koppen, the competition for places is only going to get tougher. Maybe Lovelace saw the writing on the wall, realizing he'd struggle for game time with more attacking options arriving, but it's still a bitter pill to swallow knowing the raw talent he possessed and how injuries robbed him of the chance to truly prove himself in a Rangers shirt. The timing is what stings most. Just as he was beginning to make the bench regularly, grabbing an assist in the win over Dundee United, he's gone. Had he stayed fit earlier, who knows how much further along his development would be. He had pace, power, and a fearless style of play that could have been nurtured into something special at Ibrox. Now he goes back to Millwall, where he made history as their second youngest debutant, and Rangers fans are left to wonder what might have been. The big question is, did Lovelace jump ship too soon, or was it Rangers' fault for not giving him more chances when he was fit? Cyril Dessers is still at Ibrox, and whether that's good or bad depends entirely on how you look at it. On one hand, he's finally found form, scoring 5 goals in his last 7 games and proving he can lead the line under Philippe Clement. On the other, Rangers invested £4,500,000 in him last summer, and if a sale was ever going to bring a decent return, the January window might have been the last real chance. Leganés, one of the clubs linked with Dessers, decided to raid Aberdeen instead, snapping up Duke for a bargain, £600,000. Meanwhile, Borna Barisic has also ended up in Spain, continuing the trend of former Rangers players finding new homes in unexpected places. But the big question remains, where does that leave Dessers in the long term? At 30 years old, he's not getting any younger, and Rangers will need to start thinking about their future up front. But for now, he insists there's unfinished business at Ibrox. He's worked hard behind the scenes, he's grinding out performances, and when he's confident, he's a goal threat. That's the version of Dez's Rangers need if they're going to challenge for silverware this season. The question is, should Rangers have cashed in while they had the chance, or will Dez's prove he's worth keeping by firing the club to glory this season? If you haven't seen yesterday's video yet, you're missing out. Explosive news about Rangers that'll leave every fan stunned. Go check it out now. Go